Her husband poisoned her juice, but she exchanged the cup with his sister and then took this picture. What's going on in this picture? Why did she do it? What happened to the husband? Why did his sister go along with it? Let me explain. This is a revenge story. A woman was getting divorced from her husband after she found out that he was cheating on her with another woman. When the two of them met up to sign the papers establishing that they were both single, he spiked her drink. She woke up in a hospital room without any idea what had happened. Her drink had been poisoned. After the doctor ran tests, it became clear that her husband had put something in her drink to make her fall into a coma. But before she could wake up from it, he made it seem like an accident and convinced the doctors that there was no reason for her to be monitored. He told them that she probably just drank some expired milk or something, and it would be fine if she just rested for a bit. The doctors believed him and left her alone in that room, but luckily she had a sister who was taking care of her at the hospital. Her sister sat by her bed every day and night until she finally woke up. When she did, she heard the doctor say something about her being lucky that she was only in a coma for a few days, because the poison that had been put into her system wasn't one that could be easily reversed. At first, she couldn't remember anything, not even who she was. Luckily, her sister was there to tell her everything, and when she learned that her husband had tried to kill her, she wanted revenge. She had spent years of her life with that man. She had built a future with him and trusted him more than anyone else. He had been her rock, the person she went to whenever she felt weak or scared or had something to be happy about. And now he had tried to take her life away from her. She was determined to get back at him, and so she started planning. First things first, she needed to get better. She stayed in the hospital for weeks until she was fully recovered. During that time, she watched her husband move on with his life as if nothing had happened. He visited her sometimes, but she could tell that he was only doing it to show other people how caring he was. He knew that everyone was watching and wanted to look like the good guy. She pretended to be grateful for him, though. She acted like nothing had happened between them and smiled and waved at him when he walked by. She knew that he thought he had won. He thought he could get rid of her and start a new life with his mistress. But he didn't know that she was planning something big. When she was finally discharged from the hospital, her sister took care of her at home. She still wasn't strong enough to take care of herself and needed help with the simplest of tasks. While recovering, she spent most of her days thinking about what she was going to do to her husband. She knew that she didn't want to live with the pain of betrayal forever, but she also didn't want to let him get away with it. Then one day while watching TV, she saw a commercial for a self-defense class. It got her attention because she had never been able to defend herself. She always relied on her husband to protect her. So when he turned his back on her, she felt helpless. She wanted to feel strong again, not just physically, but mentally too. And that's when she decided to take action. First, she enrolled in the self-defense class. Every day she trained hard and learned how to fight back. It gave her a sense of empowerment that she had never felt before. She could break a glass bottle over someone's head or throw a punch that would knock them out cold. Then she started looking for a job. She didn't want to sit around waiting for her husband to come crawling back to her. She wanted to be financially independent and support herself. So she started working at a local restaurant. It wasn't much, but it was a start. And finally, she started seeing a therapist. For years, she had buried her pain and pretended that everything was fine. But now she needed someone to talk to, someone who could help her process what had happened to her. With each passing day, she felt herself becoming stronger and more resilient. She knew that her husband had broken her heart, but she wasn't going to let him destroy her. One day she invited her husband over for dinner. He came over with his new girlfriend, and the two of them looked smug as they entered her house. She had cooked a delicious meal and set the table for two. When they arrived, she greeted them with a fake smile and asked them to join her for dinner. As they ate, they talked about their lives, and she listened patiently as they bragged about their happiness. Finally, she broke the silence. She looked at her ex-husband and asked him why he had tried to poison her. He froze, and for a moment she saw fear in his eyes. But then he recovered quickly and said that he didn't know what she was talking about. She smiled sadly and continued eating. She knew that he wouldn't admit what he had done, and so she decided to change the subject. After they had finished dinner, she asked them to stay over for the night. She knew that her ex-husband wouldn't agree, but she had a plan. He refused, and so she called the police. The officers arrived and arrested him for attempted murder. His girlfriend screamed and tried to explain that he was innocent, but the evidence against him was too strong. She had called the police in her own house, plus there were witnesses who had seen him arguing with his wife that night. He was taken away in handcuffs and she watched him go. She knew that she would never forget what he had done to her, but she also knew that she deserved so much better. After her ex-husband was arrested, she started moving on with her life. She traveled, spent time with her family and friends, and began dating again. She wasn't looking for anything serious, but she wanted to have fun. One day she met a man who was different from all the others. He was kind, funny, and supportive, and she felt a connection with him that she had never felt before. They started dating, and soon she found herself falling in love with him. Meanwhile, her ex-husband's trial was approaching. Every day the media reported on the upcoming court date, and she could feel the stress building up inside her. She didn't want to relive that night, but she knew that she had to testify against her ex-husband. On the day of the trial, she arrived at the courthouse with her new boyfriend. He held her hand as they walked inside, and she could feel his support and love surrounding her. In the courtroom, she told the judge and jury everything that had happened. She described how her ex-husband had poisoned her drink, how she had woken up in a hospital, and how her life had been turned upside down. She could see him smirking at her from where he sat, but she refused to let it bother her. She knew that she had the truth on her side. After she had testified, the jury began their deliberations. She could hear the whispers and murmurs as they discussed her story. Finally, they reached a verdict, and the judge read it aloud. Her ex-husband was guilty. She felt a surge of relief and satisfaction as he was led away in handcuffs. She had finally gotten justice. As the years passed, she married her boyfriend and they started a family. She had children and grandchildren, and she watched them grow up, knowing that she had created a loving and supportive environment for them. She never forgot what had happened to her, but she also didn't let it define her. She had found happiness again, and she knew that she was stronger because of what she had endured. Now, you might be wondering what happened to the sister. Well, she played a crucial role in helping her sister get through those dark times. She was there by her side, providing emotional support and practical help. When their sister woke up from the coma, she stayed by her bedside, ensuring her recovery. And when she began planning her revenge, she kept secrets and provided assistance. Without her support, the protagonist might not have had the strength to carry on. The sister became an integral part of the journey, demonstrating the power of familial bonds and loyalty. That's all for today. Please subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching.